And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and it is Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for the toy news, action figure news of the week that interested me, that hopefully interests you on the 4th year anniversary weekend of the channel. 4 years ago, like I said last week, I think it feels like a lifetime ago, and it feels just like yesterday in some circumstances there. But the channel's 4-year anniversary is this weekend. Thank you guys and gals for following along, subscribing, following on Patreon, supporting the book. All the kind of fun stuff. Wouldn't be possible without everybody watching this, of course, at the end of the day. But, of course, as usual, we're going to start with some housekeeping here. And in honor of the 4-year anniversary, definitely check out the video I did this week reviewing the Mantar figure from KWK. I do have the 1-of-1 sample right here. This is going to go to one of you viewers out there that did purchase my book, and we'll get to that in a second. But watch that video, follow the instructions. You got to follow me at SirPaul64 over on the X. You got to follow KWK on there as well. And you got to post a picture of the book, among many other things there. But this is your opportunity to own a 1-of-1 sample. Man, I'd like to keep this in my collection. I did review this. Absolutely amazing figure here. You know me, and if you've been around 4 years, you know I love a hairy bipedal creature. They're my favorite creatures, after all. And this is the biggest hairy bipedal creature in the retro game I've ever seen. So I'm here for this. Like I said, sad I don't get to keep this one, but I am going to pass this on to one of you. When we hit 40,000 subscribers, it's kind of funny. 4 years, 40,000, all kind of hitting at the same time. I don't know, that's the way it goes, I guess. But check out that. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because once we hit 40,000, maybe in the next week or two, whatever it is, we will give this away in weekly purchases in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. Let's get to 40,000. Make sure you follow the rules. Get your 1-of-1 sample. Absolutely amazing. Not very often you get an opportunity to get a 1-of-1 sample figure. So good luck to everybody out there on that. Speaking of the book, of course, Patreon this month of March. Patreon dangerously close to the end. So if you want to be a Patreon member, why wouldn't you be? You get early access to both YouTube channel videos. You get weekly pizza reviews, dog stuff, giveaways, all kinds of fun stuff. Pictures for all the videos. You get the pictures for them as well. There's a lot going on Patreon every single day. And this month I am giving away a copy of my book. So if you want a copy of the book, pick it up over there. Hopefully you win the giveaway. Or head to Amazon. Head to Barnes & Noble for the big hardcover, of course. Almost 700 pages between these. It is truly the complete guide to the Jakks Classic Superstars series. So there you go there. And then the last bit of housekeeping, I will be doing a Whatnot stream on April 13th. 3 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern. It will be me selling my wares on Whatnot. Follow my link in the description down below. You can sign up and get a free $10 on your first purchase. So who doesn't want? Sign up, just get $10 off of me or somebody else, I guess, and get something for free. You'd be a fool not to, but make sure you do bookmark my show. It's obviously going to be a show, and I'm going to start a bunch of stuff at $1. I got a ton of figures just to get rid of, kind of, so we're just going to have fun doing that. But make sure you bookmark the show, and then come talk to me. I might have some special guests. I'm working on 2 guests to come visit with us in the video. I think I'm set for an hour and a half. So we got an hour and a half of chit-chat, whatever you want to do. It'll be all live, so I'd love to see you guys over there. Bookmark the show, follow the link, get your $10, all that kind of fun stuff. More as we get closer, but April 13th, part of Whatnot Con. It's going to be a live con event. Should be a fun time. I'm interested to see. I've never done Whatnot before, so we'll see what it's all about and whatnot. There you go. There you go. But let's dive into a few other things this week. How about the toy news of the week? And a big week, especially if you're a He-Man fan. We'll talk about that in the back half. We'll start off with some wrestling first. And just last night, as I'm filming this on Friday, of course, Thursday night, some leaked images came from the new Legends line for the WWE Mattel. I'm sure Steve and Robert and Bill and everybody else at Mattel, not a big happy camper. Those got leaked. Just the way it goes. Once they're out there, once they're in print, it's pretty much going to find its way, and that's exactly what happened here. But we get some first times in the line We get the 2-minute warning. I'm here for that. A tag team, a big tag team, part of the Anoa dynasty. Man, we're just playing all the hits right there. I assume this will be a Target Legends release. Very cool to get there. Old Rosie and Jamal. Oh, never forget Rosie and Jamal. So we got those guys coming. We also have the Real American Video Hulk Hogan, a deep cut Hulk Hogan in the 40th anniversary of Hulk Hogan year of 2024. He's rocking out on that guitar. He's ready to audition for the Scorpions, I think. The bass gig at Metallica didn't work out, but man, he was thinking about joining up with the Shankers over there, Rudolph and Michael a little bit, of course, at Scorpions. But a very cool Hulk Hogan. I'm here for this Hogan. It's going to be a very interesting Hulk Hogan top 10 for 2024. I can't wait to do that video at the end of the year. But that looks really cool with the red, white, and blue guitar as well. And then, if you guys were watching last week, and I don't think a lot of people must have been watching last week because I didn't see any talk about it, or nobody cared, I guess. But I did say, hey, I got a picture of the UWF belt. It is coming from Mattel. And I said, my guess is it's probably going to Big Bubba Rogers. And what do you know? I should have played the lottery. Big Bubba Rogers coming to the Legends line. Another Big Boss Man gimmick. Of course, his first gimmick, as we do remember. And we get the young head and the old head. So it truly is a 2-in-1. But you do get first time in the line UWF belt. That is pretty cool. You can use that with Terry Gordy. You could use that with Dr. Death maybe one day. I think the One Man Gang held that title. So very cool to get a new title belt. And very cool to get a Big Bubba Rogers. If we could just have a Midnight Express and Jim Cornette to go with it, oh, that would be a chef's kiss. But very excited about that new Legends line there. One of those interesting ones, though. I think the Hogan will sell pretty good. I don't know. These Legends lines are weird because Hogan, we see that deep cut Hogan. He's not setting the world on fire as of right now. Will this deep cut Hogan set the world on fire? I don't know. Big Bubba Rogers, a lot of hardcores want him, but the average Joe, I don't know. And then same thing with Rosie and Jamal. Do people want them as well? We'll see. I would think first time in the line, it seems like it would be a good one, but the head shrinkers did go to clearance. So if they went to clearance, I could see this one going. Guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the future. But I'm excited about that one and wanted to talk about that and toot my own horn guessing that one right on the UWF belt as well. Whoa, 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 stop the clock. We got some late-breaking Mattel wrestling news. This is, of course, I finished up filming the Toy News of the Week. Of course, they drop all the news. That's the way it goes sometimes. But we got the Legends. It looks like they're going up April 5th on Target. It is Hulk Hogan with guitar. Real American, of course. Not sure if I like that My Character WWE 2K sticker on the front. Maybe it'll be peelable off. I don't know. But we saw the Hulkster in his full-on shot. We saw Big Bubba Rogers looking good. Once again, a 2-in-1 figure. Even more ways now, as it looks like he will be the chase. He will have his blue attire, so you can display both looks. Man, I'm here for that. I'm happy Mattel went that direction. Very, very cool. And then 3-minute warning. Oh, you got 3 minutes. We got Rosie and Jamal looking really good. Looking very different. Looking really like the sleepers of the set in a lot of ways. It'll be interesting to see how they resonate with the customers, as I did say. But we did see that Legends one coming out. And then Ringside Collectibles put up a lot of pre-orders today. We talked about, of course, the Ringside Collectible exclusive Ultimate NWO Outsiders pack. They're not done there. They have the Best of Ultimate Series 4. It looks like we got Batista and The Rock returning to the line. We'll see what those two are. How different will they be? Think it makes sense with Rock all over TV right now to make a new Rock figure, so I can see why they would do that. Then we did see Elite Greatest Hits Series 4. Only 4 figures in the set. I like that. I don't like these 8 figures in a Greatest Hits wave. Let's keep them down to like 4. Cut them out more with them if you want, but I like a 4-figure manageable set. That feels right to me. You guys sound off in the comments, but it looks like AJ Styles is coming. Hulk Hogan, Randy Orton, and Rey Mysterio. It'll be very interesting to see what Greatest Hits versions. I don't know if these pictures that Ringside put up are showing what we're going to be getting. I guess we'll find out very, very soon. Hopefully, probably WrestleMania weekend next weekend. And then we saw Main Event. Don't call it a basic anymore. It's a Main Event, Series 148. Caden Carter, Carmelo Hayes, John Cena, Hulk Hogan, and Roddy Piper. All some heavy hitters in that line. Man, my love of basics was always a little bit there, but boy, it's way up there now with a lot of these legends, a lot of first-timers in the line, a lot of fun stuff coming in the basics series as of late. So a little quick Mattel update. Also saw this week Walter and Rey Mysterio. We saw John Cena and Austin Theory. And we saw Jey Uso, oh, Uso crazy, eat all day long, and Roman Reigns from Championship Showdown Series 17. Don't know if there's anything I need in this one. I hate that Austin Theory body. It's just weird in his torso there. That John Cena would be kind of cool to have, of course, representing their WrestleMania match. But I'm thinking all three of these are passes. I don't need another Walter. I just unboxed a Walter here just recently. I think that's on Patreon for you Patreon members. And Ray, I don't need another Ray as well. So I think that's an easy pass. But some people are digging those ones, of course, with the new articulation, making them a little bit more desirable than they used to be. So if you're after the Championship Showdown, hit up Series 17. There you go. And we will see, of course, I guess WrestleMania is next weekend, isn't it? Gosh, it's sneaking up on me. What is time, once again? But we're going to see some WrestleMania reveals next weekend. It should be a very busy next weekend. I don't know if the reveals are on Friday or Saturday. Probably Friday is my guess. So we might have to do a special one-off Toy News Friday night. We'll just play it by ear. We'll see what ends up happening there. But should see some exciting reveals over the next week with WrestleMania looming here. And you guys know me. I'm here for it. Here for it all day long. And now I saw something this week from Ringside that really caught my eye. I'm not usually a Bleacher Buddies fan. They don't really do anything for me. It's not really what I'm looking for. However, they put out an Ultimate Warrior. I might have to get that Ultimate Warrior. Might have to break some rules right there. But Warrior is coming to the Bleacher Buddies. You also got Cena, Cody, Roman, Rollins, Hogan. That's it. So you do got those coming. So if you're into Bleacher Buddies, not really my thing, but I might pick up the Warrior. It's a nice little decoration on the couch, I think, is what it is. You can head over to Ringside Collectibles, use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. Moving on over to the retro, and I'm still working on that retro jingle. I need to get after that. We need a retro jingle that signifies the retro portion of the show. This week, we did see Zombie Sailor Toys showed a grayscale prototype of Old Hog. Of course, Henry O. Godwin, we saw him coming. We got the Godwins from Grapplers and Gimmicks. Now we're getting them from Zombie Sailor. And we got Ahmed coming from both. It's going to be a lot of back and forth between these. Macho Man, we know that. It'll be really interesting how this all nets out in the retro game. And it's getting tough to keep up with these retros. And I don't know. I'm a completist on all of them so far. I don't know if I can keep that pace up. We'll see what happens. But I did see one this week that I might play a little long game on. It is figure collections, I should say. Mike Chioda referee figure. It'd be good to have a referee. We have Earl Hebner. Now we got Mike Chioda. I don't know, but I feel like I want this one. There is a variant packaging. I don't need the variants. I just need a loose one, really, is all I need. So we'll see. I'm going to see on that one. Maybe play a little bit long game. Maybe wait for it to come in stock, then order it so they don't sit on my money. We'll see what happens there. But if I miss it, I guess I miss it. Who do you got that going on? And then we did see from Hasbro Toys this week, we did see the British Bulldog go up for pre-order. Very excited to see this one when it does come in hand. A very cool look to the Bulldog, of course. Bulldog, a guy, not a ton of looks, but a ton of looks at the same time, it feels like. But the Bulldog looking very good. And then we saw old Tony Anthony, the old dirty white boy, a.k.a. TL Hopper. And we did see him with toilet and then without toilet. They said, okay, no toilet included. And then we listened to the fans, is what Mitch said over there. And we got a toilet, and the toilet was clogged. And I don't know about that. I think that's a step too far. I don't know. For me, I don't need that in my collection. I don't want to see that. Hopefully the lid comes down on the toilet. I don't want to see that. I just don't. But it did create quite a stir over on the Major Pod this week as well. They dived into it more than I will. You can go over there if you want to check some of that kind of stuff out. But it's cool to get Tony Anthony. I always say I like it when every wrestler that had a main appearance, even if it was brief, I would love to see them get a figure. And that's where we get stuff like that. That's where we get stuff like that Manitar. I do like that. I do appreciate that, because when will we ever get another TL Hopper figure? I don't know. We'll see if it does happen in the Mattel line one day. We'll see what happens there. But that's it for wrestling. So now we move on to a few other things this week. This weekend, always a little bit of a sleeper convention, very small. It's in Anaheim, California. It is WonderCon, but Hasbro will be announcing and doing reveals on their panel for all their properties. So we should see a couple items, maybe a G.I. Joe item, maybe a Marvel, Star Wars. You know how it goes there. But they got that going on this weekend if you're in Anaheim. I actually got a nice invitation from Hasbro, so shout out to Hasbro. They said, hey, we got a spot for you if you want to come. Unfortunately, they don't have hotel or transportation. If they had those, I might come, but without that, probably not going to be able to make that one, unfortunately. But Hasbro WonderCon and Hasbro panel is there. Mondo is usually there, and I think last year they had like an exclusive where they debuted some stuff there. Maybe they even debuted Orko there last year. I wouldn't be shocked to see something from Mondo kind of announced and then maybe up for sale next week. We'll see what happens with that. But WonderCon this weekend, be ready. There you go. And now we turn our attention to Todd from the couch. Todd, a slow week out there? Oh, yeah. Todd said you were doing too many wrestling reviews, so he really took this week off. And as we've heard on Kyle Peterson 2.0 and other channels, Todd, not a fan of my wrestling reviews. Doesn't like him, usually turns over on the couch or does something else. So there's too much wrestling this week, so he decided to take a vacation. Makes sense, makes sense. But he did come with something hot, and it's almost wrestling related. It's boxing related. A lot of Rocky fans out there. We are getting McFarlane toys, Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed. Very cool to see this. There's a lot of people that love their Rocky figures, especially that old outlaw, Waylon Jennings. He collects that Rocky stuff. He'll be picking these up, I do bet. I might as well. I do enjoy Rocky. One of my collecting regrets of my life, and I've had a few. I sold my complete Jakks Rocky collection. I had the total line, mint on card, and loose. And then they skyrocketed, and they caught me at a weak moment when my first daughter was being born. I'm like, man, these diapers are going to be expensive, all these baby things. What can I do? And I said, you know what, Rocky, it's so hard to say goodbye, but poor Elle, she needs to go to the bathroom and something, and diapers are the way to go. And that's the way I went. So I did miss that line. I wish I had that line back. Is what it is. But maybe I start a new one here from McFarlane. And that's why you did it, Todd? Oh, Todd, you're a sweetheart. 4-year anniversary. You don't have to talk nice to me today. But yeah, very cool of Todd to put these out. Of course, Todd loves the Rocky license, as we do know. So it'll be interesting to see how these do come out when they do hit us in our hands. So there you go right there. And now we got to hear from those Saved by the Bell kids, because they got the answers to this one.
Dumb.
Stupid.
Crazy.
Some of that old-fashioned hard times and disappointment this week of a toy line I was really looking forward to has seemingly been canceled from Super 7. It was the Misfits figures, and I think we saw them on like day 3 of San Diego Comic-Con in 2023, and I remember talking to a couple of the guys at Super 7 about it, how stoked I was for the Sam Hain figures, and of course the Danzig figure, and they were in the Masters of the Universe style. I was here for that, but I know, and I know this outside of figures, just in music, that Glenn Danzig, not the most popular guy around, not the easiest guy to work with, of course, as we know. And apparently there was a snafu somewhere in there because the line has been canceled, so we are not going to get those Misfits figures. Really disappointing. I don't know what Glenn's deal is. Obviously, I'm not in his shoes, but man, you think he'd want some of that money. Glenn does, of course, tour at the Misfits there, and that's a whole wacky situation as well. But really disappointed about all that, but it is what it is. You can't fight City Hall, and you can't make somebody do something they don't want. I don't think, but those are canceled, so that is very, very unfortunate if you ask me. And then the last bit of news before we get into the Masters Universe, we got Dum Dum Duggan, Nick Fury, Sharon Carter, 3-pack went up for pre-order this week. You can get either or Nick Fury head, same as Sharon Carter. Very, very cool pack here. I'm here for this. Just really torn on which Nick Fury to display. I think I'm going to do Samuel L. Jackson head sculpt. I guess, you know, the black Nick Fury is what I'm going to go with on this one. I think it's comic book related, kind of. So that's what I'm going to look at doing. That's the plan of attack for me there. But a cool 3-pack. Get it if you want to at all your favorite retailers. But now, as Jerry Reed always says, we've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. We're going to dive into the Masters of the Universe this week. Of course, their whole collection was announced. Very interesting. We saw cartoon collection stuff. We saw Turtles of Grayskull stuff. We saw Masterverse stuff. And then we saw some Origins last week, which we did talk about in that video. Now, of course, the Pixel Dans of the world, the Fuchsias of the world, are not the Fuchsias anymore. Robo don't know. They went over all this stuff. So I won't drain it. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it by now, as this was all kind of announced on Monday. But we did see Origins, and I guess that's where we'll start, kind of the cartoon collection, Origins. We saw the cartoon collection, Evil Lyn. We saw that in a live stream with Mattel revealed last week. Same thing with Webstar. But we did see Reptilax. I do not know that character, but I'm here for any and all Snake Men, so I do like the looks of this one a whole lot. Spikor, another must-have in the cartoon collection. Same thing with Clawful, another great one here. And it's so crazy. I think of him more as the toy than the cartoon collection, but it looks just like the Filmation Super 7 one we got back in the day. Got another Snakeman in Vipor, and I guess he's kind of that Eternia Tower is what he's supposed to be based off. I think that looks really cool. Does that mean we're going to get a Castle Grayskull man in the future? Be interesting to see if we get that. Horde Trooper Prime is pretty cool. Obviously, we'll probably get a normal Horde Trooper in the normal colors with the little robot in the future. That's an easy repaint if they need to. So we did see that. We also saw Prince Adam and Cringer. We talked about that last week. Very cool to get Cringer finally articulated. Stranger Things, He-Man and Vecna. The Vecna looks absolutely wild. He-Man looks like he's awfully sick, but he must be in the Upside Down, as they do call it there. Haven't got the last 2-pack from Target yet, but they're already announcing this one. But a pretty strong lineup all in all. We also saw a vehicle that really came out of left field. I don't know if any of us really expected this to come. The old Collector, Skeletor's vehicle, looking very, very interesting right there. Now we move our attention over to Masterverse and what was announced at Masterverse this week. Revolution Emperor Hordak. You can put that with your motherboard and your Horde Skeletor, really build that one out. Princess of Power Leech. Leech, an all-timer there. Of course, got to have Leech in the collection. New Eternia Cyclone. It feels like forever we don't get a Cyclone, and then bam, here we go. We got an Origins one. We got a Masterverse one for you, or I guess New Eternia for you. Very cool to see that. Thunder Punch He-Man, that's one of those ones you knew would come eventually. Makes a lot of sense. The Revolution Man of War. Oh, Man of War, one of the all-time greats. Joey DeMaio out there in New York. Playing over in Estonia and things like that. Who knows what they're up to. But we got Man of War in Man-at-Arms, Man of War figure. Of course, if you saw the series, you know the story on that one. Same thing if you saw the Revolution series, you know all about Snake Sorceress Teela. Very interesting there. The old Green Goddess, I guess, is known in some circles. New Eternia Merman, I'm not sure on this one. He looks goofy in the face. I'm hoping it looks better when we get it at the table, hopefully sooner than later. Battle Armor Skeletor, another all-timer, must have. Can't wait to see that one. Looks very, very cool. One that set the world on fire, of course, from the Masters Universe movie. We got Beastman coming. It sounds like he's a fan channel exclusive. Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Stores, GameStops of the world, things like that. But Beastman's going to go good with that He-Man Masters Universe movie collection we've been working on over the last couple of years. And then another one we weren't sure if we were going to get, Skeletor and his throne. It's crazy that Super 7 Snake Mountain, that throne by itself was selling for like $200 and some. Just that throne. It's absolutely wild. A lot of people are going to want this, including myself. Love the looks of a good throne, especially a bone throne right there. And then we turn our attention over to the Turtles of Grayskull line. I'm still undifferent on this. If you guys have been watching my figure hunts on Fridays, this week an all-timer of a figure hunt. Went to a toy show, went on a road trip, went to the Mitski concert. Yes, Mitski! I don't know what it was. I'm still kind of not sure what I saw, but I did see the Mitski concert. Took my daughter for her birthday with her friend and, of course, my wife, Angie. Quite the show on the road is what that was. But the Turtles of Grayskull this week, I saw all over the place. I saw the sets. I went to a store on Monday and I went back on like Thursday. Nothing had changed. The mouse jaw not selling. It just feels like it's not selling at retail. It's not connecting with those kids at retail. I imagine the Big Bad Toy Stores of the world, Entertainment Earth, maybe having a little bit more success because that's where a lot of the hardcore fans go. But they need to drum up some interest from the kids and the normal people out in the stores that aren't as deep in the weeds as you and I are on this kind of stuff. At least that's my opinion there. But we saw Michelangelo. We talked about him before with his nice, beautiful hairpiece. Skeletor, Samurai Skeletor. I don't know what you call it there. We saw Teela. We saw April O'Neil. We saw Stealth Leo, Stealth He-Man, running in packs. Stealthily, though. That's what they're doing. Now, we did see Leatherhead, of course, Casey Jones. The Merman is probably the one I'm most excited for. I'm going to have to get two of them to display both looks. Just absolutely love this take on Merman. Very, very cool. I also really enjoy Splinter. Maybe, once again, it's that hairy bipedal creature. Always gets me. Always warms my heart. But he looks really cool. Looks a little bit more powerful than normal to me. I don't know. Maybe it's because he's based on King Grayskull. But that looks good. Bebop and Rocksteady, really an easy no-brainer. That was a layup if there ever was one. And then, of course, Hordak as well. And Hordak comes with some wings. He's going to fly away. He's going to fly away into the night, I think is what's going to happen there. And it's always interesting, those Turtles of Grayskull ones, like we saw with Beastman. The Stealth He-Man, you take everything off him, you basically got an Origins He-Man. So it's getting the most out of your molds if there ever was one, putting a little new accessories there, and bada bing, bada boom, bam, you're off to the races. You got a new figure there. So there it is. That is the He-Man kind of quick update. Like I said, other places have already covered it. It's about a week old, just the way that it landed. So if you need some more info, or you probably already know a lot of that info, you guys probably know where to find that. One follow-up I did miss when I talked retros, I forgot all about it. A Deluxe DDP, of course, from Epic Toys. Epic Toys putting out some of the best retros lately. Still blown away by that Powers of Pain set that we unboxed recently on the channel. We are getting a Deluxe DDP, the first Deluxe figure in the line. So I think that'll be a pretty cool one there. DDP stole a lot of people's hearts back in WCW and still stealing them today on the yoga mat, as we do know. But shout out to DDP. I'm sure he's watching this very video. But I pre-ordered mine right away. I think that'll be a very fun one when we get that. I think it's shipping sometime this summer. So if you need your DDP figure in retro form, head over to, I think, Figure Collections, Asylum Toys. I think they're both selling that one. So pick your poison at the end of the day right there. And that is it. That's all I see as far as the toy news this week, which means only one thing. We got to move over to the album of the week. All right, time for the album of the week. And much like Bebop Rocksteady as Too Bad, this was a layup for me as well. And this week's one is Rancid and Out Come the Wolves. You guys know I've had Rancid album of the week many times over the last couple of years. 4 years on the channel, as we know. I love Rancid. Always have loved Rancid since I was a little kid. And this week, I was in some pretty important meetings. Pretty tired this week, all honesty. I've been really burning the candle at both ends in these meetings. But looking to come to a resolution very soon, fingers crossed. But But I was in my old stomping grounds, the area I did grow up in as a kid, and I was around my old high school and junior high, and I was also around my house where I had to walk. And every single day I walked to and from school, be it elementary, high school, junior high, whatever it may be. There was no parking at my high school, so even if you had your license, you still had to park like 2 miles away and walk. That's just the way it went. Crazy times, crazy times. Can't we build a parking garage in those schools? But it was a big class. I think I had like 1,000 kids in my class, almost, my graduating class. So big class as they do go. But I was walking through all that, and I was reminiscing as I was doing. I remember walking these streets with my Discman in hand, and out come the wolves in my Discman, walking to and from school every single day. Almost like my daughter, Elle, who's 13 right now. She is obsessed with Rivers and the old Blue album from Weezer. She's been listening to that all day long, but she listens to it on her phone, of course, as most kids do this day. So that's really cool because I do enjoy Weezer. I do like Weezer a whole lot. And we'll be seeing that Blue album tour later this year. But it's just kind of reminiscing about that. Like when I was her age, I was listening to Rancid and Out Come the Wolves. I was all in on the Rancid. I was here. I was listening to Let's Go, all that kind of stuff. I was there for it. Still am there for it. I love all Rancid stuff. I love their new album. I'm always a big Rancid fan, but it's funny, like nostalgia brings you back not just with toys, but also music. You see this whole long path that you walked home every day, and you can't help but remember putting your hoodie up and then putting your headphones on and holding your Discman back in the day, walking to and from school. So a very cool memory came to me this week on the 4-year anniversary of this very YouTube channel, and that is my album of the week. So there it is, another week down. And now we start the slow crawl to 5-year anniversary of the channel. Will we make it? Can we make it? We'll see what happens there. But I appreciate each and every one of you watching this channel and videos over the last 4 years. Truly is appreciated. Want to do something special. That's why we got that KWK giveaway. Definitely get in on that if that is your thing. A lot going on every single day. I'm sure no different than any of us out there. A lot going on to keep up with. There's no doubt. But I appreciate everyone watching these videos every single week in and week out. Appreciate it once again. And of course, let me know your thoughts on the toy news, action figure news this week. Anything of interest to you, anything I missed that we should have talked about, let me know in the comments down below. And heck, throw me your album of the week too. I always like seeing that. Some of you guys do that as well. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to like this video. It always helps the channel when you give it a thumbs up. And I know there's 2 of you that thumbs down every single video. You can't do it if you want to. It is what it is, but there it goes. And also, don't forget, of course, to subscribe to this YouTube channel, as we will give away that figure when we hit 40,000 subscribers. Dangerously close, as we do say. Just a few away from 40,000 subscribers. Then the slow march to 50 begins. Can we get to 50,000? Well, I need your help. Let's do it. So we'll see what happens there. Don't forget about Patreon, of course. Monthly giveaways, dog stuff, pizza reviews, early access to all the videos, pictures from all the videos. A lot going on Patreon every single day. Appreciate your guys' support. You can also, of course, support the channel at PressingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget the book. Soft cover. Recommend Amazon. Hardcover. Barnes & Noble exclusive, of course. Complete Guide to Jakks Class Superstars. Appreciate all the love for that one. And if you want an autographed copy, hit me up. SirPaul64 on the X. The _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. So, for another week of toy news and, of course, the 4-year anniversary, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. Not this time. It never happened. It's false. It never happened. It's a fake. It's fiction. It's an urban legend that never happened. No way. We got you. Not a chance. Not this time. It never happened. It never happened. We made this one up. It's fiction. We made up this one. We made it up. Not this time. Wrong. Not this time. Not this time. You're wrong. Not this time. It never happened. I had the desire to write your initials in wet cement.
Ever gone mountain biking?
What do you want to be when you grow up? What's the right tip?
Have you called a plumber to your home lately? How superstitious are you?
How much money would it take to make you spend a night in a cemetery? Would you display this as a trophy? Do you have a pet? Do you have a sweet tooth? Do you believe in the power of a curse?
Have you had your hearing tested lately?
Planning a trip soon? Can you remember the tallest man you've ever seen?
Do you love to go a-wandering beneath a clear blue sky?
Have you noticed what big stars real estate agents have become?
Are you careful with your personal records? Does your computer ever seem to have a mind of its own? Have you ever visited a Chinatown section in a major city?
Have you ever visited a flea market? You ever visited a truck stop? Did you ever have a job as a waiter?
Have you noticed how many successful restaurants are theme-based these days?